Welcome back to yet another episode of the Rocketeer Minute, where each and every day, Monday through Friday, for the past, year and a half or so, we had been talking about probably the greatest adventure movie Walt Disney ever made, the 1991 Joe Johnston directed feature, The Rocketeer. I'm one of your hosts, Jim O'Kane of TVDads.com.
And I'm Hal Bryan, the airplane nerd from the Experimental Aircraft Association here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And Jim, I love these special episodes. It's like an after-school special. It's like we should be dealing with things like foster kids and drug abuse and things, but instead,
don't we?
Well, I think we deal with a little bit of everything. But instead, I think I hear the noise.
You're listening to a special Billy Campbell episode on the Rocketeer Minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Campbell.
Gosh.
It never gets old.
And there I am. I thought I would never hear that again. I'm so glad to be back and hear that.
And
okay, once again, but like you mean it this time with a feeling.
How are you, boys?
Doing good. Long time no hear, but glad to have you on our airwaves and also on the TV now. So wow, what a who'da thunk? But back in and entertaining yet another generation of young Finheads.
Yeah, I'm terribly excited about it on a number of levels. Not just because I get to sort of revisit Rocketeer world, which, as you know, was one of the formative and best experiences of my career. A major part of my life, and now I get to kind of revisit that world and in something that I can show my kids that they can enjoy. So.
Wow, yeah, this is geared right. I mean, your two boys are just coming up into the perfect target age for this new series.
Yeah. And I've always wanted to do voice work. Nobody has ever offered me voice work, and when this came around,
really?
I thought, geez, how can they not give it to me? Even if I'm no good, they can't not give it to me. I'm the Rocketeer.
And you can do this in your bathrobe, so it's like perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good in so many ways. I can have mayonnaise on my stomach and a face full of sandwich, and it just doesn't matter.
You're living the dream. I tell you.
Yeah. So take us back to the very beginning. Now that the NDAs are all clear and all that, where did you first get contacted? What was the genesis of all this?
Well, I think it was a fairly typical thing. I was contacted by my manager, who said, "Hey, there's this animated series. They're wondering if you might want to have a go." And I thought, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I have always wanted to do voice work, so I was excited on that level. I was a little trepidatious because it was the Rocketeer thing, and I thought, gosh, I really, I hope they're going to do it well. And of course, I should have known. It's Disney, and of course they're going to do it proper. So, so then I said, yeah, I would do that. I mean, what it. At its worst, it's a 40-minute train ride up to Oslo. I get to goof around in the city for a few hours, do some voice work, and maybe have a beer in a pub, and then go back home. It's like a little vacation from, when you have a couple of young kids, you're looking for. So, Papa has to go do his job.
Yes.
Yeah, thinking about that lovely pint of Guinness in a pub in Oslo.
And the mayonnaise on your stomach, apparently.
And mayonnaise on my stomach. Anytime I can have mayonnaise on my stomach.
Of course.
Awesome. Wow.
So how long ago did this, would they have contacted you? Really what I'm driving at is how long have you been dying to tell Jim and me this big news? That's really my real question.
How long was that? Honestly, listen, as you know, I have two young kids, 5 and younger. And I'm 60 years old. Point being, I can't remember. I can't remember anything. It's a miracle I can put 2 words together right now.
But I think it's fair to say that you waiting to tell us, the anticipation, that was probably one of the hardest things you've ever done.
It was
keeping this quiet
from us. It was really difficult. Yeah. In fact, when I got the job, the first thing I thought was, I got to get to a phone. I got to tell Jim and Albert. Yeah. And then I had to stop myself. I really do.
You should do more voice work because you've really got me convinced right now. You're a great liar, Billy. So keep that up. You do have such a terrific voice for it. So it's interesting to me that you're playing. If I'm reading the credits right, you're playing Dave Secord.
I'm playing Dave Secord, who is of course is named in honor of Dave Stevens.
Of course.
And Dave Secord is the son, if I'm not mistaken, of Cliff Secord.
So I think he's the son of Ambrose, who I would figure would be the son of Cliff and Jenny.
Oh, yes.
Does that make sense?
Sorry.
Because Ambrose is
I
the
think that's
grandfather.
right.
So Ambrose named after Ambrose Peavy.
That's right.
So,
and so I also get to play in flashback. I get to play Cliff Secord as the actual Rocketeer. So
now, do you get to actually? Because I've seen the only episode I've seen the original Rocketeer in is the one with Felicia Rashad and the Songbird, and that was wordless. But you will. I haven't seen all the episodes yet, so we're catching up. But you do get to talk as Cliff.
I believe so.
Awesome.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's
So
gonna be great.
it's kind of fun. It's super fun, and as I say, I've always wanted to do voice work. So now I am.
It's interesting. I've basically seen 2 episodes so far, and and they're fun. They are definitely very squarely aimed at kids. But of course, I'm having fun. Looking for the details in the background, looking for the nods.
Sure.
And nice to see like the city is Hughesville. So a little nod to Howard Hughes from the movie version of the story, and then little pictures here and there. But I think that was there was something else I was going to point out. Oh, I did see, I guess, coming up that speaking of voice work, Maurice LaMarche is doing the villain voice. And boy, there's somebody, Pinky in the Brain, and
Frank Welker is also in as Ambrose.
And,
so it's
that's right, Frank Welker's in it. Stuff. So you're in good company in terms of
Well, that's
voice
good to know.
talent.
These are people I'm entirely unfamiliar with because I've never been in the voice acting world, and I'm super excited.
We can't forget Kathy Najimy playing.
Now I am familiar
playing
with
your
her
wife,
because
of course,
she's not just in the voice acting world,
but of course they are not all flying to Oslo to record with you. You are going up there doing these things on your own, which
so
I'm sure they'd love to.
I may never even meet any of them.
And you're just doing the sides, right? I mean, you're not getting any kind of feedback. I guess you might be from the voice coach there.
No, I'm getting I'm on the horn with LA when I'm doing them. So I'm speaking to Nicole and the others, and they're fantastic. I love what I love? I love how fast it moves, and I've never been one of these actors to bridle at a director giving me a line reading. I'm like, some actors, they're like, don't you try to act my line and tell me how to say my line. I have to feel it. I have to whatever. And I'm like, so very often I'm on a set and I'm getting a little impatient because the director is sort of, I feel like, beating around the bush, because they're so used to actors bridling, and I would finally have to say, listen, wait, hold it, can you just do the line like you want me to do it? And he's like, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then they do the line, and I understand what they're saying from them having done a line reading, whether it's any good or not, and then we just cut to the chase. We get right to it, and then we can move along. So I'm very, very happy to be doing voice work on the Rocketeer, and she's fantastic. She's like, no, here's what I want. I want it more like, and she'll do the line, and I'm like, okay, gotcha, done. And we do it, and I just imitate her, and it's fantastic. So, yeah.
And is it Karen or Karen Ann Anderson? Would that be the director you're working with directly, or is there
Halbert?
Yes, sir.
I have to repeat. I have 2 young children under the age of 5. I'm 60 years old as of July. I can't remember.
That's fair enough.
I can't remember.
You show up, you does your work, you eat your sandwich.
Yeah.
How long do these sessions normally take? So you get to Oslo, you check in, you get set
I'd
up.
say, they're really, we can do an episode in because, I mean, I'm not the lead character, so I don't have an overabundance of lines. So I would say we motor through a script in half an hour or something like that. So we can do a couple
Interesting.
of scripts in an hour, maybe even 45 minutes.
And are you given the entire script so that you've got a bit of context, or you just have a sort of?
Yeah, they
okay.
do. They give you the whole script.
That's nice.
I have to admit that because I have two young children under the age of 5, I sometimes don't get around to reading them. And honestly, it's very easy to. I don't get nervous about not reading them because the direction is so stellar. I don't even have to worry about it. They're like practically, putting the performance in my ear so that I can make it come out of my mouth.
So this is your future then, I guess. You really want to get out there, call your manager and say, "Get me on Animaniacs."
I love it. I mean, I love it. It's the one thing it's not. The great thing about my day job is, so to speak, is I go to work on sets and I meet a bunch of different people and there's all the creative energy and you do something all together, the whole bunch of you, not just the folks in front of the camera, but the folks behind it. And then you go out afterward for beers or whatever. And, and this, I just go by myself to a studio. I put on some headphones. The engineer is on the other side. There's one other person, it's the engineer, and they're on the other side of an enormous pane of glass. And then I'm speaking to some disembodied voices from Los Angeles. So it's a little, as a full-time job, I would think I would find it lonely. But as a side gig, it's a lot of fun.
That's great. And it looks like Disney's thinking about a second season here, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they expand your show to Disney Plus, because right now I have Disney Plus, but I don't have Disney Junior.
Hey, by the way, did you see the when they came out with the recommendations? Here are 10 things to watch on new Disney Plus, and the Rocketeer was right there on that list. And they cut I sent you a link to it, didn't I?
Yeah.
They cut a new trailer for the movie. It's fantastic.
That was a stunner. That was a stunner of a.
It's fantastic.
In a modern size, yeah.
If that trailer had been around 25 years ago, the movie might have done more business.
Well, it is definitely there is a new audience, because the day after Disney Plus premiered, we had 3,000 new listeners to episode 1 of the Rocketeer Minute.
You're kidding
and
me.
It was off the charts. I mean, It was just like this spike that came out.
Wow.
And I'm blaming it specifically on people sitting down watching the Rocketeer and saying, "I got to find out more about this," and hitting the site. So
that's really interesting.
And what better place to go?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So, I'm very, very happy this is going on for you now. With your other projects like Cardinal, will there be a fifth Cardinal, or where are we on there?
Oh, I hit the.
There we are. Okay.
Sorry, I hit the mute button by accident.
Okay.
We can edit that.
Gosh,
Or leave
that
it
wasn't
in.
even Alfie in the room pulling out plugs.
I'm blaming Mark on this one.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard the question, but I'll stop here and then let you answer.
Yeah, you were asking about Cardinal and if there would be any more seasons, and I'm saying that it's finished. That the last season, the 4th season, has not aired yet. I think it will in the late winter, like February, March or something. And that's it for me and Cardinal. I'm now over in Scandinavia. I'm actually technically living in Denmark. But I spend a lot of time in Norway because, of course, my wife and kids are there. And I'm waiting on my papers for my Norwegian family visa to come through. But I hope to, after Cardinal, I hope to start working over there, and so that I don't have to come back to North America all the time, go so far away from,
your family,
wife and kids. And it's looking pretty good. I have some good contacts over there, and I'm just now setting about procuring an agent in London who will hopefully enable me to get my foot in the door of the business over there.
Wow. Well, I'm sure it'll be going great. And with this second line of work going on, it sounds like you won't have to travel as much, at least, or getting on a train to Oslo. But
Right.
Oh, getting on a train to Oslo is a joy, I have to tell you. It's 40 minutes up to the city, wonderful landscape to look at. You can walk anywhere in Oslo, and it's just, I just love being there. Love being there. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we will continue getting back with more Rocketeer stuff. There's a bunch of stuff coming on. We're actually only a year and a half away from the 30th anniversary.
Right.
Oh
And
my gosh.
It's time flies.
And Billy, we got to talk about you coming to Oshkosh. We've just got to figure out a way to make that happen.
Well, maybe
Big
maybe
outdoor
some year
screen.
There's
that can
beer
happen.
and cheese.
Special, yeah. There's beer. There's cheese.
There's sausages.
We import Guinness, but we make a lot so own as well.
When is it again? I can't
It's,
remember.
our big event's always the third week in July.
3rd in July.
So think
3rd in
about that for
July.
2021,
it-
30 years.
Yeah, it's possible. In 2021, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
2021 might work out better because next summer it's or that's your next event. in
Well, we have the
2021.
event every year, but I'm
Oh,
thinking
gotcha, okay.
if we did
Yeah.
something like 30th anniversary of
Yeah.
the Rockahoo, then
That might be neat. Yeah, this coming summer is going to be a bit hectic. We have a lot of renovation to do on the farm, and we don't want to go far from the farm while that's going on. It's pretty extensive.
but Jim, I'm betting we could get Joe to come.
Yeah, I think so. We had
How
Joe
was
Johnston.
it with Joe? How was it with Joe? I haven't listened to the podcasts yet.
It was great. He was so excited to be on the show, and he's actually the 3 previous episodes to this one that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 Joe Johnson episodes, and maybe he's got a headset now, so maybe we can get the 2 of you on and chat about old times
That would be
sometime in the
fun.
future.
That would be a
fun.
kick.
But he said it was the most fun he had making on any movie, which for the Joe Johnson filmography, that's quite a thing to say.
Yeah,
And
when
he's
you roll
and
out.
he's a pretty if he's saying that, he's not a given to what do you call exaggeration.
Yeah,
Um, So if he's saying it, it's probably true. He probably feels deep in his heart that it was mainly because of me that he enjoyed that picture. So
I got that
so
vibe.
much.
There was a real strong subtext throughout the entire
yeah,
episode.
I thought there must
But,
have been. Yeah.
And his voice broke a couple of times when he said
Yeah.
your name.
Ah,
Weeping,
sure. Of
So
course.
just
sobbing,
get
I
that sort
can
of
hear it.
quivering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his voice used to break a little when he was after he had any given scene that I would do. He'd say,
Oh.
"Cut."
Bite on his knuckle. And just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
those were the days. Wow. Well,
Those
we'll
were the
have many,
days.
we will have many more to come. But thanks for getting back with us on and bringing the Rocketeer roaring back. And we will be having some more Rocketeer folks on as soon as I learn to pronounce the executive producer's name, because I don't want to do that wrong. It's Nicole. I'll just call her Nicole. But
Nicole something French.
yeah, something French. So we will have some more
Dubuque.
Rocket-
I think it's Dubuque.
Dubuque.
Dubuque or Dubuque?
Like Iowa? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask her. That'll be our next question for her. But we will have many of your fellow cast members who you may have never talked to on the show in the near future.
Yeah.
So
Good.
So for folks listening in, please continue on, because we'll have some more specials. Not every day, but they'll be popping up. So check back with us always here and stay subscribed. Also, if you haven't listened to any of our show previously, now's the time to catch up. Go to rocketeerminute.com and you can listen to all 116 scintillating episodes, some of which Billy is part of.
The best ones. Let's
yeah,
face
the
it.
best ones.
Well,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
that
The
goes
ones with the gold
without
stars.
Saying.
Yeah. But we will we'll check those out. We're also available on Twitter. Reach out to us on Facebook at the Rocketeer Minutes Bulldog Cafe, just like in the animated show now. So we'll be out there, and we'll be happy to chat with you about things coming up in the future. But stay tuned here on the Rocketeer Minute, where until next time, over and out.
Over and out, boys.
kid.